today's video, I feel it's going to be a very short one, but I think that it is also a very important one. So I'm going to talk about why I don't write referrals, or at least I don't like to. If the situation got bad enough, I'm sure that I could write a referral, but there are reasons why I don't like to write referrals. The main reason really that I don't like to write referrals is because it creates a paper trail, you know, for that child that literally follows them forever. When I first started working here, I told y'all that the school board took a really long time to like get my stuff processed, get me in the system and all of that good stuff. So I spent like a lot of time not having access to the systems. So like my third or fourth week when I actually was processed and I had access to like the systems, you're able to log on and like click on students' names and like see their whole life story. In certain cases that can be good because you want to know what kind of child you're dealing with, you know, what to expect, how can you position yourself to be a help to this child, all of that good stuff. But I feel personally that it does more harm than good. I remember one time talking to a teacher and I was telling her about like issues that I was having with a student, and she was like, oh, you need to look in the system and see if he has notes and basically like a record or whatever. So I'm like, oh, how do you do that? And she shows me how to log into the system and do it. And when I tell y'all the stuff I seen in there, I could not believe my eyes. Not the stuff that I seen for the actual child, but just the fact that like the student record goes back to literally the first day they started school. Like you can see if somebody got suspended in the 3rd grade and it's their senior year. I'm talking about like you can see what they did, what the teachers say, you know, they did or whatever, what discipline they were given, all kinds of stuff. And it just really blew my mind because most teachers, they read over stuff like that before school starts, before they have an encounter with the child. So when that kid actually walks through the door, these people have already decided what kind of person you're gonna be, how they're gonna treat you based off what kind of person they think you're gonna be because of your records. And I just feel like that's not cool at all. I don't do that at all. Like I've never looked at nobody's record until the lady actually showed me. Like I don't really care about that. But at a certain point, I started to just get curious and go through certain things. And like some of my best students had like really horrible track records in like middle school or elementary, like got suspended multiple times in the year. I'm talking about just a long list of like behavior issues, disrespectful, fighting, all kinds of stuff. And personally, I would have never guessed that because I have never had those types of problems out of that child. But if I was one of those teachers that look over, you know, your whole record before I even say hello to you, how am I going to treat you when I already feel like you're about to come in here and disrespect me, or you're going to be my biggest problem because that's what your record says that you're going to be? So because of that, I don't write referrals. I will do everything in my power to resolve a situation or to reach out to a parent, a child, admin, or whoever can help the situation before I just write a referral. I personally feel like it does more harm than good because you could have a bad day, just like all of us. A child could have just a moment, or for example, one kid had like a perfect record and the only issues they ever had was like their 7th grade year. I promise you, like that year like just was hell for them. But every other year there's no referrals, there's no issues, there's no problems. And it's just like sometimes people can go through things and you could just genuinely be having a moment, or just it's not a good time for you. I don't like to write referrals because I don't want to help the next teacher treat you bad, basically. Like the moral of the story is I don't write referrals because I don't want to put a label on the students that I come in contact with. Even if you are a little rough to deal with, even if you are rowdy, what if that's just a right now thing? And because I have slapped that label on your record, you gotta, you know, deal with that treatment for the rest of your school life or whatever. And it's just crazy. Also, some of the things that people write referrals for. Another reason why I don't like to write referrals is because I feel like this. A lot of these kids be doing the same stuff, and a lot of them just have not gotten caught. Now, there are certain things that are, you know, above me, that are bigger than my little self. Like if you get caught up with admin because you're doing something illegal, or whatever the case that is, you know, that's out of my reach. But I'm talking about like simple little blurting out in class, moving seats, walking out the room. One time I had a student walk out the room and like ain't say nothing to nobody, just left. So I texted the group chat or whatever, and I was like, what do you do if a kid just leaves the room? Like, I don't know what this girl doing, or what she was like, am I just supposed to like mark her absent even though she was here? And they're like, oh, write a referral. And I'm like, okay. So I decided to like open the door and look in the hallway. And I look in the hallway and she is standing right next to my door, but in the hallway. So I'm like, what's up? Like, what's wrong with you? You good? And when she lifted her head up, she was crying. And I was like, whoa, what's going on? And she started talking to me about whatever was happening. And I talked to her for a little bit and I was like, take a walk. I gave her a pass. I said, take a walk, go to the bathroom, get you some water, get yourself together, you know, before you come back. And I feel like that moment was just an illustration of how quickly a child can be punished or penalized for something that they shouldn't be. Like, yeah, of course she just got up and walked out the room. I didn't know where she was going. I didn't know what she was doing. She could have been leaving school, going down the street. But because I took a little more initiative instead of just writing her a referral and like walking out looking for her, having a conversation with her, I was able to determine that that was not a referral type of situation. And all in all, I don't like that. I don't like the idea that those records follow the kids forever and ever and ever. Now, of course, once you graduate high school, I don't really know what happens with your school records, because I know me, my records was a hot mess. That's why I'm the last person to judge. I remember when I was in high school, they wrote me up talking about I got into a food fight. I did not get into no food fight. This boy had took my phone, and when I ran behind him to get it back, he had held it over the balcony, and he was like, he was gonna throw my phone over the balcony. So I picked up my yogurt because we're at lunch, and I just like slung the yogurt on him. Like, you know how you do like this and then something just kind of like splatters on somebody? One yogurt, my yogurt, and the only person it touched was him. And the yogurt didn't even really do a whole lot of damage because he, the only thing that was wet was his shirt. I think he ended up going to the office and getting like a new shirt or whatever to change into. But then people wrote me right up, which I mean, as they should, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't have wrote me up, but hey, it wasn't me. Then people wrote me right up, and they gonna put that I had a food fight. So I get home and they thinking that I'm out there just like throwing apples, oranges, bananas. I did not have no food fight. Somebody did something to me and I threw my yogurt on them. Is it okay? No. But was it a food fight? No, it wasn't. It really was not. And you know, situation like that just really just turn my stomach when it comes to things like referrals. Sometimes they are deserving. Like, if you are an actual threat, please let us know. You know what I'm saying? If a kid is doing something that is going to cause somebody some harm, then yeah, write them up so that when I get ready to see him, I know, all right, he'll pop off on me. But for just regular emotional issues, like you having a bad day and that's why you're acting out, I don't write no referrals. I don't call parents because I felt like it wasn't effective, but I don't write referrals because I feel like it hinders the child's success. And the last thing I need is for you to not be able to move forward in your life or excel later on in your school career because of a stupid little referral on one of the worst days of your life, you know? So I know, you know, everybody's different or whatever, but just for me personally, I don't write referrals. And that is my little chit chat today for Teacher Tales. So tune in for tomorrow because I'm doing this every day. Okay, every day.